today, I guess I just want to jump straight into it. If I'm looking down at my phone, it's because I got keynotes because I kind of want to stay on point and not ramble off because sometimes I get so excited that I just start going in circles, like I start talking in circles. So we're not going to do that today. We're going to stay on point because this podcast does have a point to it. It's going to be like shop talk, but not the mess. It's going to be education shop talk. Like I'm talking to you as a stylist. It's going to have substance. There you go. This podcast is going to have substance to it. Okay, so I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Stephanie. I'm a hairstylist in Houston, Texas. I have a salon suite with Salons by JC. I used to teach at Paul Mitchell the School in Clear Lake. I am a graduate from Paul Mitchell the School, Houston. I am a licensed cosmetologist, but I have been in the hair game for 10 to 11 years. I started hair in 2014. I think I kind of got popular around 2016. I started as a braider and then I ventured off into other things, which made me go to cosmetology school, where I learned a lot of education on the hair. I'm going to say I fell in love with hair in cosmetology school, honestly. So I did love doing hair before I went to cosmetology school, but I fell in love with hair, like the hair structure and how you're supposed to feed your hair and how do you make it grow. The scalp has to be clean, so that I can be able to share it with my clients and share it with you guys in the chair. So I left Paul Mitchell, the school, and I decided that I wanted to do education on my own platform. Not to toot my own horn, but to toot, I do have like a huge following, and I feel like a lot of people respect me as a stylist because, well, I'm not gonna say everybody. I'm gonna just say everybody that has visited me or has sat in my chair. They always speak life into me because I'm always giving them life. Besides looking good, I give them life. I give them conversation. I'm the type of person that don't judge because who am I to judge you? So I feel like my clients are comfortable with me. They can get in here and they can talk and they can rant and it's left in here. It's a safe place. Because when you go to your hairstylist, you feel as if that's a safe place. I'm very much kind of a loner. I do have a very small circle of people that I am super, super close with. I am a people person though. I wouldn't say that I'm friendly. Well, I don't even care. Like, yeah, I'm friendly. Who doesn't want to meet nice people? Or who doesn't want to meet people? So I'm friendly to a certain extent. And then once I get to know you and see the person that you are, I'll go from there. Like, I'll decide if I want to continue to mess with you or we just gonna be friends from a distance. So I feel like my clients feel that energy and they just comfortable with me. And most of my clients I've been having since I started, and we've become friends. Some of them become family. So I feel that's the way a stylist and a client's relationship should go. Like, they should feel comfortable enough with you to know that it's not ill will when you give them advice or something. So back to my keynotes, because like I said, I start rambling and stuff. So that's me. My next point, why I started this podcast. I started this podcast because I wanted to educate people. I wanted to reach more people so that I can even like educate online. I hate when people say, I don't do this for the money, or she only do that for the money. I mean, of course we do it for the money, because how are we gonna pay our bills if we don't do it for the money? So people gotta stop thinking like that. Like, this is a job. This is actually a career, because y'all not gonna let no robots do y'all hair. A robot cannot take my job. So I feel like people should respect this industry more, because this is very much, we're not going nowhere. Hair, makeup, permanent makeup, skin, you will definitely not let a robot take care of none of that. So I feel like the beauty industry is very important, just like the medical industry. And then we go hand in hand. You see how you can never be out of a job if you do hair, because you can do it medically, you know. So that's kind of what this podcast is about, the education. So my next point is my story and the lessons that I learned from my journey. I started full-time hair in 2014 until now. So between 2016, no, actually, yeah, no. I lied. Okay, so between 2020 and now, actually, sorry, 2020 until 2024. 2020 to 2024, I had not worked for a company. I built my own company. I started hair, like started actually getting into hair 2014. I worked in my first salon, which was my cousin's salon, in 2014. And I doubted myself. Long story short, I doubted myself, you know, kind of questioning, like, can you really make a living off of just doing hair? Like, do you feel comfortable with just living just off of hair money? Or do you believe in yourself enough to get the clientele to pay for your life? So the financial stability was my roadblock when I first got into hair. That's what stopped me from like not going into hair full time, like trusting myself or trusting God. So 2014, I think I was working in security. No, I think I was working at Walmart probably. I was working security. And then I went I tried to go full time 2014 when I worked at my cousin's salon. And then I went back to security when I left the salon. Then 2016, I got my CNA license. I got my EKG tech license, and then I got a med behavior tech license, because you have to be certified, well, certificate, because you got to be certified to watch the medical patients in the hospital. So I've worked at Memorial Hermann as a CNA, and then I worked at Methodist ER because I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to be an RN. I went to PV for nursing, and then I changed my major to criminal justice. I came back from PV, went to HCC for criminal justice, and then went to San Jack and changed my major again to registered nurse. Well, to try to get into the program, because you got to take your basics and then you get into the program if you apply to the program. So I was trying to do that. I was trying to be a nurse. So I wanted to get my feet wet, because I know as an RN, they want you to at least have a little bit of experience, like in a hospital setting or as a nurse. So I got my PCA or CNA license, and I worked, like I said, at Memorial Hermann with the geriatric patients, which were the older patients. But I figured that I couldn't do that because it was a lot of, I have a lot of empathy for people. So when they were like passing, the feelings were really, really heavy, and I didn't like the energy I was in when a patient pass, because sometimes you gotta kind of try to keep your emotions out of it, but it's kind of like you feel like this is your grandpa, or you really get to know them as a person, and then even knowing that someday something might happen to them, you still get kind of attached. So when they would pass, it would be super super sad, and I didn't want to feel like that. I was doing hair on the side. I was still doing hair on the side, because in the hospital you have a certain amount of days on, and then you have a certain amount of days off. So I figured I couldn't do older people, so I went to Methodist Baytown, their ER. I love the ER. It was very fast paced. I really liked it. So I figured, like, as an RN, and then that kind of really made me kind of pay attention in school. But then again, I was young, so I really wasn't worried about school as a whole, because I had a good job. The hospital was paying good, so I figured maybe I could stay there for a couple years or whatever, work my way through school, and then I'll be all right when I'm an RN. Love the ER, but it's kind of like a feeling came over me. Actually, I turned 30, and even though I was on the side, I was doing hair on my off days. At Methodist, I had 4 days on and I had 3 days off, and I was starting to make my Methodist check doing hair in 3 days. So it kind of had me like, okay, now you really tripping. You could definitely make a living off doing hair. Like, why are you scared to not work? So I kind of leaped out there. I kind of jumped out there, and it had been working for me ever since. And that was in 2020. I had turned in my resignation letter to Methodist, and I didn't want to work for the hospital no more. I didn't give up my dream on being an RN, because I definitely do still want to be an RN, especially because I have my cosmetology license, and I can do a lot of things with a medical degree and my license. So it's still a dream. That's probably gonna be like my retirement plan. I didn't work for anybody from 2020 to 2024, and I was making bank. I was making a lot of money. So then I decided to go to school, because why not? If you want to do this for real, then you got to make it official. You have to actually be official, because what if you get so good that somebody get mad, or somebody try to do a return and you fight the bank, and you just never know. People might just try to blast you for any reason, and you don't want somebody to go so far as to call TDLR because they feel like you competition or something. And I know y'all probably wondering like, hey, girl, ain't nobody gonna do that. You ain't goddamn good. But people really are that petty. I feel like it's a whole bunch of money to go around, and I feel like I just move to another state if it's too much competition in one state. But I'm not worried about competition. I feel like I'm a great stylist and that I educate my clients. So, and I do a good job. I have quality work. So I feel like they're already comfortable here. And this will be a part of another episode. They've had so many bad experiences after COVID that I'm not worried about competition at all. I'm certified. I'm licensed. I've been doing it for a long time. And I take care of your natural hair. Like, I don't just put a wig on top. I'ma shampoo your hair. I'ma deep condition your hair if I think you need it. I'ma clip your ends if I think your ends need clipping. Like, and I'ma ask you, I'ma be like, your hair's a little uneven. Can I clip your ends? Like, this is really bothering me. That's why I got into hair. Like, that's why I went to cosmetology school. And I respected cosmetology school because I really love doing hair. Like, not just wigs, hair. real hair. Like, I like hair. If I could be the head of hair, I probably would be the head of hair. And then when I wanted a wig, I'd probably be a wig. So, and then you can kind of tell, like, my clients can kind of tell, like, she really know her shit. Like, for real. Even if you kind of explain your situation, and I've had a few people to DM me and explain their situation about their hair, I've given free routines as to how to switch up what you're doing. I'll ask you, what products are you using? Oh, well, maybe this product has too much alcohol. It might be drying out your hair. Or how are you shampooing your hair? Like, are you oiling it when it's dry? Are you oiling it when it's wet? So I like hair. I love hair. And I know how hair makes a woman feel. So I went to Paul Mitchell. And even though I had been doing hair for 10 years, because I graduated in 2024, May 2024, and I have been doing hair since 2014, and then doing full-time hair since 2020. So even though I had been doing hair, I still went into cosmetology school with an open mind and an open heart, because I wanted to learn more. Like, I wanted to know more. I wanted to know color. I wanted to understand what color can go on top of what color. I wanted to know how to lighten curly or coarse hair, what the numbers on the developer meant. I wanted to dive deep. I wanted to be able to give my clients something that they can take home, and then they can take care of their hair until they get back to me. Or if they can't get back to me, they'll know what to do in that time frame, because they always come back. I went in there not knowing, or not being that know-it-all. I went in there willing to learn and willing to receive information, basically willing to start all over, because it was a new journey. I didn't, coming out of cosmetology school, I didn't know that much when I went in. I just knew how to do hair. So I graduated May 2024. I've been licensed since July 8th. So it's about to be a year. It's about to be a year that your girl been licensed. So, I'm really excited about that. So that's my journey. That's my journey from beginning to end, or from beginning to a little bit before right now. So, my next topic that I have down is lessons from my journey. The big key lesson that I take away from my journey is to have faith. And I'm gonna be super transparent. I'm still working on that to this day. Another key I would want to take away from this journey is to not be so hard on yourself. The third key takeaway I have would be, well, I guess that one will be number 2, is to give myself grace. I'm super hard on myself. I'm very critical, but I'm always so loving and nurturing to everybody else. And it's kind of like, are you going to do that for yourself? Why don't you do that for yourself? Those will be my takeaways from my journey. Be present enough to know that your situation is not what it used to be. Because I'm definitely not in the same situation that I was, or I'm not in the same position that I was. So a little backstory. Me and my cousin started together, and we started in my dining room. I did hair in the front end of my dining room, and she did makeup in like the corner of my dining room. So we started together. Her name is Lex Image. Started in my dining room. White walls. We had a big ass dining room table. It wasn't big, but it was square, and it took up like that back corner. So she would put her makeup on that table. I had my hair stuff on that table, and then we just kind of branched out, because her clientele had got big, because my clients would see her doing makeup, or her clients would see me doing hair, and they kind of like swap seats. So when her clients started booking appointments with me and my clients started booking appointments with her, we kind of grew a following. So follow my girl, Lex Image. I started from my dining room. So that comes in to my faith. Like, you started with Nothing. You started with bare walls and a table, and now you got a dryer that's on the wall and clientele. You got a license. So I'm definitely not in the same position that I was when I started, and I'm in this position because of what I started. So those are my key takeaways from my journey. My next keynote would be, what would you tell your younger self? I would definitely tell my younger self to be easy. You're definitely gonna be successful. Love yourself more than you love other people, except for my baby, because I love her more than I love myself. But I do love myself. I love myself before anybody. So it will be to love yourself. Never let people's opinion dictate your mood, because half the time it don't have nothing to do with you. It's something to do with them. They're projecting. It just would be to love yourself, be more into the spirit, to be more confident, to just pat myself on the back. I would definitely pat my younger self on the back, because you did good and it molded me. One of them would be to be more transparent, to be more communicative, to not be scared to be vocal, to not be afraid to say no, to not be afraid to not be liked. I would give my younger self a pat on the back. I would tell her all those things. What to expect for future episodes? Like I said, we will be talking education, how to build clientele from scratch, ideas of what to charge and how to stop underpricing, hair care myths that need to go. I think that might be the next episode, or in the next 2 episodes, because dirty hair do not make your hair grow. Dirty hair is nasty. That's nasty. How to grow on social media, like I'll help you guys with what I did. And then of course you'll have to do the analytics on Instagram to see how your page works for you, and to how to grow your following according to your Instagram stats. So we'll dive deep into that. I kind of just found my rhythm as far as like the days and the times and stuff. So I'll be explaining that to you. Just interviews with stylists, educators, and beauty bosses that you guys love. Put the name of your business down in the description, your IG business down in the description, and since I'm gonna go viral, I'm gonna go ahead and shout y'all out, you know, because when I grow, you grow, we grow together. Okay, so if you vibe with this episode, do this for me. I would like for you guys to subscribe, leave a review, leave a comment, tag me on IG at @inthecut_, and I want to hear your story too. You know, DM me your journey and what you would like to hear next. And thanks for listening to episode 1. I'll see y'all next week.